Welcome, radiant Leo souls. Whether you've been basking in this golden den of starlit insight for years, or you just wandered in on a cosmic hunch. This is Golden Fortune Leo, where astrology meets psychology, soul meets science, and fire signs are understood on a cellular level. I'm your longtime cosmic guide, and I've been studying the stars longer than some of you have had Wi-Fi. Here, we don't just read horoscopes, we translate celestial blueprints into soul-deep truths, served with a side of psychological precision and just a hint of Buddhist detachment, because let's face it, we all need to chill a little. Now let's talk about the main event, the Sagittarius full moon on June 11th. And no, it's not just lunar fluff. It's a fire-charged portal, a kind of spiritual espresso shot aimed right at your chest. And for Leo, this hits differently. This isn't a whisper, it's a cosmic drumline, and your heart is front row. If you've been feeling emotionally itchy, scrolling your contacts list at 2 a.m., or reminiscing about someone you swore you'd moved on from, guess what? You're already syncing up with the frequency. Sagittarius and Leo are zodiac cousins, both fueled by purpose, passion, and let's be honest, just a touch of dramatic flair. This full moon doesn't knock politely, it kicks the door open, asking, "Are you ready to feel again?" But this time with soul-level clarity. This isn't a rerun of the past. It's your heart getting a software update. So if things feel more intense than usual, if your courage feels shaky, or your desires oddly precise, it's because your inner compass is realigning. Welcome to the fire portal, Leo. Your heart isn't just beating, it's being reborn. Over the next 48 hours, dear Leo, something profound is happening, not in theory, not in metaphor, but in the very circuitry of your emotional being. Your heart chakra is undergoing what I can only describe as a cosmic recalibration. Think of it as spiritual open heart surgery, but without the foredrip or the out-of-pocket trauma. This is the kind of deep, soulful rewiring that doesn't show up on an EKG, but trust me, you'll feel it in every fiber of your being. And let's call it what it is. If anyone in the zodiac was born with a king-sized heart, it's you. But this time, it's not about flexing your emotional muscles or performing passion for applause. This is soul work. Quiet, messy, beautiful soul work. You're not just preparing for love, you're being upgraded to higher love. The kind that doesn't require theatrics to feel real. The kind that doesn't need a filter or a stage. If you've always sensed that you were here for something more depth, more meaning, more truth, this is your confirmation. Chosen ones don't just stumble into this kind of activation. They're guided toward it, often with a Sagittarius moon tossing fire-lit breadcrumbs along the way. Welcome to your next emotional level, Leo. It's less show, more soul. Now, let's talk about this lunation's favorite hobby, dropping emotional truth bombs. Sagittarius is not subtle. It's the sign that walks into your inner temple, kicks open the door, and says, "So, what do you really want in love?" No sugarcoating, no fluff, just truth, shot straight into your chest like Cupid with a philosophy degree. This full moon isn't asking what looks good on your vision board, it's shining a spotlight on what makes your soul exhale. If people or patterns you used to tolerate suddenly feel flat, it's not because you're cold. It's because your soul is done playing dress up. You're not heartless, you're just evolving. And honestly, Leo, isn't it time your love life caught up with your cosmic glow? Let's get something straight, Leo. If you've been having dreams that feel more like emotional feature films, or if your second-grade crush just made an unexpected cameo while you were brushing your teeth this morning, you're not imagining things. That's your soul inbox lighting up like a Christmas tree during Mercury retrograde. And no, that familiar whiff of cologne from someone who ghosted you in 2016 isn't your imagination, it's a cosmic notification. The universe is sliding into your DMs the only way it knows how, through your dreams, memories, and the occasional deja vu that leaves you staring into space mid-coffee sip. This Sagittarius full moon has thinned the veil dramatically. It's not just dreams, it's soul downloads. Spiritual voicemails. Glimpses of love stories you didn't even know you'd written. And because Leo never does anything halfway, these messages don't come in subtle. They come in high definition, surround sound, maybe even with a dramatic soundtrack in the background. Spirit has a sense of timing and, apparently, a flair for romantic cinematography. Now, let's talk about time, because under this lunation, time is more of a suggestion than a law. Sagittarius doesn't care for clocks, it cares for timeless truths. And Leo, when it comes to love, you might be feeling like you've stepped out of linear reality and into something far more kaleidoscopic. Ever feel like you've known someone forever within 5 minutes? You probably have, just not in this lifetime. You're not losing it, your soul is just operating on a broader bandwidth. If you're crying over a memory that's a decade old or catching emotions that don't make logical sense, don't panic. That's not regression, it's revelation. The universe is folding time like origami, showing you patterns, people, and purposes that stretch beyond this moment. Your lion-hearted self is remembering, reconnecting, and reclaiming love across lifetimes. So if your heart's feeling extra tender, honor it. This isn't chaos. This is cosmic continuity. And Leo, you're finally starting to see just how infinite your love truly is. Alright, Leo, ready for the deep stuff? Because this is where things get a little raw, a little messy, and a whole lot enlightening. Venus is squaring off with Pluto, and honestly, it's like the universe slipped a shot of emotional truth serum into your morning coffee and forgot to warn you. What's surfacing now? The stuff you thought you'd buried under self-help books, guided meditations, and 3 years of "I'm totally over it" affirmations. Control issues, jealousy, fear of abandonment, yep, all of that might bubble up like spiritual indigestion. But before you start spiraling or blaming your rising sign, breathe. This isn't cosmic punishment. This is purification. What's happening here is that you're being asked to shed the emotional armor you've worn to be liked, to be wanted, to be seen as perfect. And let's be honest, Leos can put on a great show. But this transit? It's calling for authenticity, not applause. You're not here to perform love, you're here to live it. To be adored not in spite of your flaws, but because of them. It's time to let someone love the real you, lion mane, emotional roar, messy vulnerability, and all. This is about being fully visible in your truth, not just in your highlight reel. And just when you think the cosmos is done shaking things up, here comes Mercury sextile Venus, sliding into your chart like a soulful whisper. This alignment opens the Soulmate hotline, and Leo, if you're a chosen one, which, come on, you always suspected, you might just be receiving downloads, unspoken feelings, or that sudden urge to reach out to someone who's been sitting quietly in your heart's background music. You could wake up knowing what someone else is thinking, or hear a song that feels like it's singing your love story back to you. Telepathy, synchronicity, deja vu, it's all part of the magic. But here's the catch, it won't come through shouting. It'll be in the quiet moments, the subtle nudges, the way your chest tugs when you hear their name. So stay open. Spirit speaks in whispers. And love, when it's real, doesn't have to scream to be heard. Now let's talk power, Leo, real, radiant, unmistakable power. Because Mars has strutted into your sign, and it's not just dropping off a cosmic bouquet. Oh no. It's handing you the mic, spotlight, and center stage with a wink that says, "You ready to lead?" This isn't about passively waiting for love to knock. This is about stepping up like the romantic hero the stars always intended you to be. Mars in Leo is bold. It's fearless. It's the lion not just roaring but roaring with purpose. And if you've been holding back your feelings, your desires, your truth, well, Mars just lit a fire under you. So yes, send the text. Make the eye contact. Wear the thing that makes you feel like royalty on a Tuesday afternoon. Because when Mars activates Leo, it's not time to play small. This is Leo in full bloom, courageous, magnetic, and gloriously unapologetic. Your confidence isn't arrogance, it's alignment. You were born to lead from the heart. Mars just reminded you how. Now here's the twist in our tale. While Mars is fanning your inner flames, Jupiter, the big guy who rules expansion and meaning, is over in tender, intuitive Cancer. It's like your inner lion just walked into a hot spring with scented candles and a soft jazz playlist. Translation? The cosmos is expanding your emotional intelligence. Jupiter in Cancer says it's not only okay to feel, it's powerful. Cry into your smoothie. Hug your plants. Write poetry to your ex and then burn it, safely, of course. This isn't weakness, it's wisdom. Leo, you're often misunderstood as the look at me sign. But what people forget is your loyalty, your generosity, your depth. You don't just want attention, you want soul connection. Jupiter is softening your edges so you can see who really belongs in your kingdom, not just who claps the loudest, but who stays when the lights dim. This is sacred discernment. Don't mistake it for moodiness. Your emotions are leading you home. And just when you think the cosmic drama has reached its peak, in comes the plot twist: the full moon is squaring the lunar nodes. And that, my friend, means karmic decision time. The south node sits in Virgo, whispering its familiar temptations: micromanage, overthink, perfect everything until you forget what joy feels like. It's the voice that tells you love has to be earned through effort, structure, and spreadsheets. Cute, but no. Then there's the north node in Pisces, soft, forgiving, deeply intuitive. It invites you to let go, to trust, to surrender into a love that doesn't always make sense but somehow feels exactly right. The kind of love that's not about the checklist, but about the frequency. So, here's your moment of truth, Leo. Will you choose ego or elevation? Control or connection? Perfection or presence? Because your next chapter, your real love story, depends on which road you take. And something tells me, with Mars in your sign and Jupiter warming your heart, you already know which way your lion soul wants to go. Now, Leo, let's talk about the next 48 hours, not from a place of what if, but from a space of sacred action. Because when the universe opens a portal, especially one dipped in Sagittarius fire and aimed directly at your heart, you don't just sit there scrolling. You move with intention. So here are 6 soul-charged moves custom crafted for the chosen ones among you, yes, you, to make the most of this cosmic window. First, set the stage. Light a candle. Not just for the ambience, but as a symbolic act of turning your heart into a throne room. This isn't mood lighting, it's spiritual infrastructure. Your emotions deserve a sanctuary. Next, write a letter to your soulmate even if you haven't met them yet. And please, don't roll your eyes. Your soul already knows who they are, even if your mind is still out here swiping left. Pour your heart out like they're already listening. Because energetically, they are. Then, track the signs. You're not losing it, you're being guided. That number you keep seeing, the song that randomly plays, the red rose on your morning walk, these are not coincidences. The universe flirts in code, and Leo, you speak fluent synchronicity when you stop pretending you don't. Now, let's get fiery. Take every fear, every outdated belief about love that still lingers in the dusty corners of your heart, and write it down. Then burn it. Literally. Safely, of course, we're transforming, not torching the living room. Let the smoke carry that weight away. And please, move your body. Lions don't mope, they prowl, they stretch, they dance. Whether it's a full-on performance in your pajamas or a slow, sensual sway to your favorite song, let your body help your soul clear space. Lastly, meditate with fire. Watch a flame. Let it pull you into stillness. Fire is your element. It doesn't just destroy, it transforms. Let it remind you that rebirth requires a little heat. But don't think all this ends on June 11th. This isn't a one-night cosmic stand, it's the beginning of a deep, unfolding transformation. You may reconnect with someone you thought was gone for good, or finally release someone who was only taking up space. Either way, your heart's been upgraded. It's broadcasting on a new frequency, one that's less about proving your worth and more about living your truth. And yes, Leo, it shows in your energy, your smile, and the way you walk into a room like your soul owns the lease. So if your heart feels different, it is. This isn't just astrology. This is spiritual architecture. You're not just feeling the moon, you're being rebuilt by it. And I want to hear about it. Drop a comment below. What signs have been showing up for you? What synchronicities are stalking your playlist? If this message resonated, help spread the stardust. Like this video. Share it with someone who needs to remember their heart is still wildly alive. And subscribe to Golden Fortune Leo, where we don't just decode the stars, we remind you how luminous you already are. Until next time, stay bold, stay golden, and most importantly live like you're lit from within.